Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to write the C program for the stack by using the arrays. And the important point here is we can implement this stack by using arrays as well as by using the linked list. So, in this video I am going to discuss about implementation of stack using arrays. Remember, in the end examination they can directly ask question like this, write a C program for stack using arrays, or else they can ask like this, implement stack using arrays, implement stack using arrays. So, whenever you see this word, it is nothing but writing the program only. Okay. In the previous video I have discussed the stack concept. First of all, watch that video, understand it, and come back to this video to understand the program. So, I will give the link for the previous video here, go through it. Okay, we will start the program now. First of all, write all the hash include statements. Yes, after writing all these hash include statements, what is the use of this stdio.h? So, this header file contains two important functions that are printf and scanf. So, if these functions has to work fine, definitely we have to include this standard header file. And this, what about this conio, console input output? So, it contains a clear screen function. So, definitely we have to write this header file inclusion statement. And what is the use of this standard library? It contains a function called exit, which we are going to use in our program to stop the program, right? The next thing is you declare all the functions you are going to use in this program, stack program. I will write them one by one. First one is a push function. So, void push function. Next one is a pop function, void pop, and next one is a display function. So, in this program I am just using only these three functions, and after these declarations you have to declare some global variables, right. So, for example, I am writing int stack of 20. So, since our program is stack using arrays, so I am using the arrays here. So, maximum size I am giving it as 20, but remember, in the main function you have a variable called n, which decides the actual size of the stack for that execution. For example, for the first time when you execute the program, if you give the n value as 5, it means that size of the stack is 5. Suppose for the second execution, if you give the n value as 10, that means the size of your stack is 10. So, like that, maximum you can give up to 20. So, next after this, there is a variable called top. What is the initial value of top? It is -1 always. That is the initial value, and size of the stack as n, and take one more variable called item, right, and some intermediate variable I, which is used in loops. So, why I am declaring all these variables as global variables, that means outside of all functions. The reason is that I can use all these things in all the functions. I can use this top in all the functions. I can use this I variable in all the functions, mainly for top, okay, because this top is going to be used in all these three functions. That is why I am declaring all these variables as global variables. You can also declare this n, item, I in the respective functions, but I am declaring all as global variables. It is not going to make any kind of difference. And now we will start writing the main function. So, firstly, void main function. I need a choice variable. So, while reading the input, I require this choice variable, and clear screen. First of all, you decide the size of the stack. Okay. So, you ask the user to enter the size of the stack. Okay. So, printf enter the size of the stack. So I am using the variable n for that. So read the value of n from the keyboard, write scanf %d comma address of n. And next you have to display some menu, right? That menu has items like push operation, pop operation, display and exit. So all these things you have to show the user as a menu. So write a printf for that. Printf in a new line. So write the menu and in the next printf you mention all the operations. So first operation is push operation and second operation is pop and third operation is display and fourth operation is exit. Fourth one is exit. So because of that the user will get the menu like this. So first of all menu and followed by the operations. So by seeing this, whatever the operation he want to perform, he can do it. For example, if you want to enter one element or add an element to the stack, he can choose one. Or else if you want to delete an element, he can choose the number 2. And if you want to display, he can choose 3, right? So for that reason, we are giving the menu to the user like this. So I have written the printf statement like this. The next one is we have to accept the choice from the user, right? Let's see how I can do that. So you have to use a while loop for that. So in the next paper, the next slide, I am writing the while loop. Remember this while loop is inside the main function only. So while of 1. So why I am writing 1 here, I will explain you, don't worry. Now after this we have to display a message for the user like enter your choice. Enter your choice. So by seeing this message, the user will enter either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So first of all display this message on the screen. How can you do that? By using a printf. So write printf here. Printf in a new line, enter your choice. Printf, enter your choice. So how to accept the choice value from user? By using the keyboard. So write the scanf. Scanf %d comma address of choice. Remember here why I am using %d? See here, because the user will give either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. All these are integers. So I am going to use %d for the choice variable. The next statement is we have to use a switch statement. Switch of choice. So based on the value that has entered by the user, that corresponding operation has to be executed. So for that I am using the switch. Total how many cases? I have tried 4 cases. First case for push, second case for pop, third case for display and fourth one for exit. So totally 4 cases I have to write. So first one, case 1. So give space between case and this number or option. So case 1 corresponds to push operation. So I am calling a function called push operation. Okay. So I will write this push operation after the main function. Okay. So here I am just calling it. Later I will write the code for this push and break this switch statement. Second, case 2. Case 2, what is case 2? Pop operation. So whenever user selects 2, this pop operation or pop function will execute, and after that a break. And case 3, so case 3 is display function. display, and a break. And last one is case 4. Case 4 is exit, right? So here I am going to use a function called exit of 1 and function called exit, which will stop the execution of your program, and close the switch statement, and close the while loop, and finally close the main function also. So in the previous slide I have started the main function, right, and that one I am closing here. Now come back to this while loop. What is the meaning of 1? 1 indicates true. 1 indicates true. That means the condition will always become true. The condition will always become true. So it is almost an infinite loop. There is no end for this, because the condition will always become true. And when this will end, see here, whenever the user enters the option 4, this exit function will execute and it will stop your program, right? And every time it will ask the user to enter his choice. So if you want to add an element, he will select 1. If you want to delete, he will select 2. If you want to display the elements in the stack, he will select 3. If you want to stop the program, he will select 4, right? So this is the main function. And now after the main function, I have to write push function, code for the push function, code for the pop, code for the display function. So first of all, I will start with the push function. So write start the push function. The first thing what we have to remember in the push function is, if the stack is empty, then only you can add an element, right? So if there is no space in the stack to add an element, you cannot add the element. So the first thing is, you have to check for the stack overflow. So you have to find out the condition for the stack overflow to write this condition in the program, right? So how to find the condition for the stack overflow? See here, see this example. So here the stack size is 5. So n value, which is nothing but size of the stack, is 5. Now my question is, for what value of top the stack is full? Yes, for the value 4. For the value 4, the variable top is, for the value 4 for the top, the stack is full. So how you got this 4? So try to derive that value 4 from 5. Very simple, n minus 1, right? So when top value is equal to n minus 1, I can say that my stack is full. So I am going to use this condition in the program. So right here, if top value is equal to, right, double equal to, because it is a comparison. If top value is equal to n minus 1, then I can say my stack is full, right? So printf in a new line, stack is full, or I can write stack overflow also. Stack overflow. Yes. If this condition becomes false, it means that there is some space in the stack to add an element. So we will come to the else part. Whenever this condition becomes false, you will come to the else. Now take this situation. There are 2 elements in the stack. Now I want to add one element, that is 30, right? I want to add the element 30. So I have to read this element 30 from the user only, right? So ask the user to enter the element. How can I ask? By using a printf statement. So printf a new line, enter the element to push, enter the element to push. Okay. So, whatever the value he enter, I want to store that value in a variable called item, in a variable called item. See here at the top of the program, I have declared that variable. See here, item. So, I am going to use that variable here. Okay. So, scanf %d comma address of item, address of item. That means I have a variable called item. So, if user gives the value 30, that will be received by item or stored in the item. Now, I have to, I am taking this item here for my convenience, 30. Now, I have to copy this 30 here. So, for that what I have to do? First of all, increment the top, increment the top. So, write top plus plus. So, with that top will be incremented and now top value is 2, right, and now 30 has to be copied into this box. My question is, how can you refer this box? How can you refer this box? See, come to this point. So, this is a stack, right? So, I am taking like this. This is an array. So, 20 elements I am not drawing. So, what is the first element? Stack of 0, right? Stack of 0. Second element is stack of 1. Third element is stack of 2 and so on, right. So, I can refer this box by the name stack of 0. I can refer the second box with the name stack of 1. So, remember this, I am going to use here in the program. So, this is stack of 0 and this is stack of 1 and this is stack of 2. So, this box is identified by stack of 2. So, in this box I have to store 30. So, I am writing here stack of, instead of 2, that 2 value was present in the variable top. So, I write stack of top. See here, what is the value of top? 2, right. So, I am writing stack of top is equal to, so how much this box has to get? 30. The 30 was stored in a variable called item. So, write item and close the else spot. That means item has a value 30, that will be copied into stack of top. What is the value of top present? At present it is 2. So, stack of 2, that means this box will get the value 30, will get the value 30, right. So, this is the push function. Now, we will write the code for the pop function. Void pop. What is the meaning of pop? Deleting an element from the stack, right. So, if there is no elements or if there are no elements in the stack, you cannot delete, right. So, first of all, you have to check that condition, whether elements are present in the stack or not. You have to check that first. See here, I am taking this example. So, here there are no elements present in the stack. So, what condition I can use is, whenever top value is equal to -1, I can say that there are no elements in the stack. So, I am going to use this as my condition in the program. If top value is equal to -1, remember it is a double equal to, it means I am comparing the value of top with -1. If this is true, it indicates that there are no elements in the stack. So, you have to print stack overflow, stack overflow, right. And if this condition becomes false, that means top value might be 0 or top value might be 1. There are some elements in the stack that you can delete, right? So come to the else part. What is the meaning of coming to else? Means that yes, there are at least one element in the stack which you can delete. So in the else part, what we have to do is you delete this 20 from the stack and display that element for the user. Delete this element from the stack and display that element from the stack. Display that element on the screen. So I have to write a printf here. So printf in a new line, deleted element is or popped element is %d. So what I am deleting here, suppose take this example, already 10 is there in the stack, 20 is there in the stack. Now I have to delete this 20. So this 20 was present in this box, right? How can I refer this box? Just now I told you it is a stack of 0 and this is stack of 1 and so on. So you have to write, stack of, now this 1 was stored in a variable called top. So you have to write stack of top. And after deleting this 20, the next step what we have to do is decrement the top. So top value becomes 0. Now 10 is the topmost element. So you have to point that element by top, right? So you have to decrement it. So how to decrement here? Top minus minus. Close the else part and close the pop function. Let's understand this pop function again with another example. Suppose take this stack which are having 3 elements. Topmost element is 30. Okay. Now whenever the pop function begins, first it will check for the stack overflow. So here what is the present top value? 2, right? So present top value is 2. Is 2 equal to -1? False. So this true block will not execute. It will not execute. It will come to the else part. In the else part, you have a printf. So popped element is %d. In the place of %d, what value will be printed? Stack of top, right? So what is the value of top at present? It is 2. So stack of 2. What is stack of 2? So this is stack of 0, this is stack of 1, this is stack of 2. That means in the place of this 30 will be printed. So in the output, the user will see a message like this: popped element is 30. Like that he will see a message. And after that, top minus minus. So you have to, after 30 is removed from the stack, you have to decrement the top also, right? So now it will become 1 will become the present top. So like that the pop operation will function. And the last one is display. So start writing the display function. Void display. So what is the condition we have to check for displaying the elements of the stack? Stack underflow we have to check. See, if there are no elements in the stack, you cannot display anything, right? So first of all you have to check whether elements are present in the stack or not. So for that you have to check for the underflow. So what is the underflow condition? Just now we have seen, if top is equal to -1, that will be the, it is a stack underflow, right? So mistakenly I have written overflow, it is underflow, right? So if top is equal to -1, printf in a new line, it is stack underflow. It is stack underflow. Else, so if the condition becomes false, it will come to the else part. It means that yes, there are at least one element in the stack to display. It might have one element or two elements or three elements. Okay. Now, how to print the elements? The first thing is you write a printf stating that the elements in the stack are, okay, or simply write elements present in the stack are. Now, see the example here. There are three elements in the stack 10, 20, 30. Now, I have to display all the three elements starting from 10 till 30. So, here I have to use a loop. Why? Because I have to print the elements one by one. So, I have to use a loop. So, I will use the for loop. So, for, see here. So, I am going to start from 0, index 0 and till 2, right. So, starting from 0 till 2. What is this 2? So, this 2 present in top, right. So, from 0 up to top, I have to print all the elements one by one. So, in for loop, I am going to start from 0, see here 0 and up to top, right. So, I less than or equal to top, one by one, that is I plus plus, one by one I am going to print all the elements. So, printf %d, give some space here. Why? Because between each and every element you require some space, right. And here what I have to write? Yeah, first of all I have to print 10, right. So, this 10 is identified, this 10 is in this box and this box is identified by the name stack of 0, right. So, first of all I will write stack, and how can I get 0 here? Yes, initially 0 was stored in I. So, I am going to use I here, right. Now, first of all 10 will be printed on the screen, after that some space, and next I plus plus, I value becomes 1, I value becomes 1. Okay, let me start from the beginning. I value is equal to 0, 0 less than or equal to top. What is top value? 2. 0 less than or equal to 2, that is true. So, enter into the for loop, and here I have a printf. I am printing stack of I. What is I value now? Yes, I value is 0. So, stack of 0 will be printed. What is stack of 0? That is 10. So, first of all 10 will be printed, followed by space. Next one is I plus plus. So, I value becomes 1. So, I value becomes 1. Check the condition. I less than or equal to top, that is 2. Here also condition is true. So, once again enter into the for loop. Now, I am printing stack of I. What is I value now? 1. So, what is stack of 1? Stack of 1 is this one, right, that is 20. So, 20 will be printed along with space, and next again I plus plus, I value becomes 2, 2 equal to 2, that is true. So, once again enter into the for loop, again printf, this time stack of I. What is the value of I now? 2. Stack of 2, what is stack of 2 here? 30. So, 30 will be printed. Next I plus plus, I value becomes 3, 3 less than 2 false, 3 equal to 2 false. So, at this point the for loop will break, right, and by that time all elements are displayed, and this is end of the else and this is end of the display function, right. So, this is the complete program for stack operations. So, here I have implemented 3 operations: push operation, pop and display. Let us finally see the output of this stack program. This is the program. So, compile it, Alt F9, no errors, Control F9. So, initially it will ask you enter the size of the array. So I am entering size of the array as 3, and like this you will get the menu. Enter your choice. So I want to add one element, so I am choosing 1 and pressing enter. It will ask you to enter the value to push, right? So enter the element to push. I want to enter 10 and press enter. So again it is asking the choice, enter your choice. I want to add one more element, so I will choose 1, right, and enter the value to push. I want to add 20. Now at this point of time I want to see what are the elements present in the stack. So I choose the third option, that is 3, display. See here, elements are 10 and 20. Now I want to add one more element, so I will choose the option 1, that is push, enter the value to push 30. Now I will press enter. Now I want to add one more element. Remember here the size of the stack is 3 and already you have entered 3 elements, and now we are trying to insert one more element. Definitely it is stack overflow, right? So choose the option 1 and press enter. It is displaying the message like stack overflow. You cannot add one more element, right? And the next pop operation. So choose option 2. See here the popped item is 30. That means 30 was deleted, and at present if you want to know what are the elements present in the stack, so choose option 3, that is display. So it has displayed the elements are 10 and 20. And finally if you want to exit, press 4 and press enter. The program will stop its execution. So this is the output for that program. You have to write that output in the exam also, right?